Hello and welcome back to the next part of the brake van chassis. Now I've done a little bit of this. I put the steps on, so that's those bits there, the steps at the side, and I put the brake blocks on. There's quite a laborious little job to put the brake blocks in, but I thought I'd just do that. I prepped up a few other bits, so putting the steps on. They line up with the holes. Now, because this is a very old kit, some of the holes needed opening up. So I have a kit which consists of some very small drills, which are very handy for opening up little holes that have got flashing over them or whatever. So, yeah, so I use things like that. You can sometimes get away, if you've got a really nice round file and it's got a very small tip, you can get away with putting that in and just giving that a little twiddle, and that will clean the holes out. So I'm going to then carry on and do this, because what I'm going to do then is I have a rattle can of matte black paint, which I will spray the whole chassis. Everything on the chassis part will get sprayed the matte black. If the black needs changing to a semi-gloss or gloss, then you can paint over it, but the black forms a good kind of primer and will seal up. And of course we've got to get rid of this red as well, so that will hopefully do that. So I'm just pushing all these into the little holes now, which will form the steps for the other side of the brake van, like so. So there we are. So that's the steps on. Obviously that needs to just set a little bit before I start fiddling about too much. I'll just stand that on that like that. That's it, holding that position. Right, next we got the buffer beams. There's just a little bit of flashing on the ends of them, not a great deal. So I'll just take that off. And then, as always, I'll have just a dry run just to see if that's going to fit. This is, I think, a really nice little kit, and makes a very cheap brake van, I think, to be quite honest. Well, unless you're going to buy, or you're lucky enough to get a really good cheap second-hand one, of course. But then there's also the fun of doing it yourself, which is the bit that I really like, and I find it quite relaxing to sit here. I always have I'm lucky enough that I've got this spare room and I can have my stuff set up. There's no youngsters or anything flying around that are going to touch anything. So I can just leave things in a state and then come back and then carry on where I left off, really. So let's have a look how this bit's going to go on. Make sure we got it all the right way around, which I believe we have. And then that should fit up in there like it does. Right, okay. The good thing about a lot of these models, they've got nice square ends that you can put the glue on, and it will support it. So that is going to go on there like so. And then just push it in until it locks in position. And of course it needs to be quite strong, for the simple reason that when it's operating, especially when you've got a hook and that on it, and you're going to pull away, if that hook is not fitted in very well, then obviously it will not. Just having a little bit of problem with this bit here, actually. Let's come out. It fits in the holes, but it's just not holding. So I think what we do is we'll put the glue along this way instead, just put little blobs in the holes. Just don't think there was enough glue on there for them. It dries very quick, this glue, but then that is a good thing, because when it does go, it will grip it nicely. Right, let's get that back in. It's going in now. So, there. Then in there. Good. Right, so where that's setting there like so, it's feeling better now. We'll just make sure that's trimmed up. Don't get this is a very old kit actually, so it's been around a long time. It all appears to be there though, so because I'm doing quite a bit to it without letting anything really set too much. But the good thing with this liquid poly, you can put it on and you're not going to see any of it really when it's dry. That's it. So that's the other buffer beam on. I've done the buffers here. I've cut them off ready. Just make sure that there's no flashing on the actual round bit, because sometimes where they're cast or made, there is sometimes a line in the middle. So see if they go in. Yes, they do. That's looking quite good. Like so. Right, good. So that one can go in there like that. A bit of glue on. Pop that in. Turn that around there like so. So that's one in there. Try another one. See if that goes in. Like I say, I only use a rattle can to paint this. You could do it with a brush if you want, but if you can go to kind of like cheapy shops, pound shop type things, and they sometimes have spray cans. Well, they used to have it for £1, but most stuff in them shops have gone up now. So usually around about £2, £2.50, you can buy yourself a matte black spray can. You just have to look around market stalls and things if there's a market where you live. I know there's not that many of them around anymore, but usually you can find a cheap paint somewhere along the line instead of buying it too expensive. It doesn't need to be too expensive really, and like I say, you don't have to spray it. I just spray it because it just you can get all in the nooks and crannies and things. You can do it all with a paintbrush if you want to. If you really want to sit there and go to town on it, you can. It's entirely up to you. It's your model. You do it exactly how you want. I just find that over the time that I've been doing this, I can get just as much or make it look just as good by doing it like that. So, right, what we've got now is the chassis. So we've got the steps on, we've got the axle boxes are all there, the brake blocks, and that's it. And what I'm going to do now is spray all of that matte black. I'm not going to show you me spraying, because obviously with the camera and all the rest of it, I'm likely to get paint on that, which I don't really want to do, seeing as I spent quite a bit of money on that. So the idea is to make sure that this gets painted and not the camera. Right, so that is the chassis now of the brake van, and that is the main part. And then we just got basically the top bit to go on top, like so. But we'll worry about that one when we get to the next bit. So it makes quite a nice wagon, I think, anyway. And it's a bit longer than the normal standard one. So anyway, that's that. There is the hook bits. I suppose really we could fix that. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I see how that goes with the chain hanging down. Right, got you. So the funny bits that are sticking out of there are actually kind of flat plastic chains coming out of the hook. So we might as well put that on at the same time. So, and then that can all be black as well. You do get a coupling with this. I haven't really investigated that yet. I just wanted to get the chassis built, and then we'll just go from there. So whether that's going to fit in there or not, I don't think it is. Not that easy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the round file and just gently ease it from side to side. Twiddle at the same time, and it will open it up a little bit. Doesn't matter if you open it, as long as it doesn't go too big, but a little bit perhaps bigger than it was intended. And then we can see if that's going to fit, which I think it will now. Get in there, get in there. Not quite. So we've got this kind of flat with a point on now. I'm just going to ease that in and out a bit. So this is it. It's with model making. It's not everything just fits straight in. And more modern stuff nowadays does. It is better. Well, I'm not saying that you know, but most models that I've made, I've had to do something. Now the other thing you can do, of course, is to flatten this a bit more, because obviously things wear over the time. So there's probably, if a mould kind of wears, it probably allows more plastic in than it should do. So these are made from the old Kitmaster moulds. So, and I think they're just original. They haven't done anything to them. So it's down to you as the model maker to make it fit. So it's nearly there, but not quite. So just needs a bit more to get in there to fit that. It just goes to show really how much that's kind of closed up. But we will fit, I think that's there more or less. Yep, we're there on that one. Right, so I'll put a blob of glue. I won't bother showing you the other end because it will be the same, and I don't want you snoring while I'm doing this, you know. So, because like I say, this is model making. This is making the parts of the model fit. And when you get onto brass things and that, and white metal, it's even worse. So, but you just got to have more tools really, and more patience. Right, there we are. So you've got a hook with a free link chain on it. Basically, that's that. Right, so I'm going to leave that for now, and I am going to fit the other end and then spray it, and then when I've done that I will come back and show you what that's like, and then we'll get on with the next part of the building of the kit. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.